Hey, okay, so just going to talk about the card like I did last time. This is UFC Vegas 120, and the main event is Mateusz Gamrot versus Killian Salkild. I guess we'll start by talking about that one. I don't really have a bet on this fight right now. I think it could be a close contest. I lean Gamrot just for what we know of him already, for how long he's been in the UFC. Uh, Hold on one second. Sorry. Hey, Polly.
Yo, you good?
Yeah, yeah. All right, so we're live right now, just to let you know. All right, so Polly's here to talk about it with me. I'm talking about the main event right now. I haven't really said too much yet. Do you have any strong takes on the main event? No, Polly's muted. I don't know if it's intentional. Okay, so he muted himself, so I'll just keep talking about it for
Yo,
now.
yo.
Okay, there it
Sorry,
is.
the nurse literally said something to me, but as you
Yeah, no
said,
problem.
um, well, like, I think, I think Shal Kill should win, and I think he's the
Yeah,
better fighter. But
I think that's very possible. Yeah.
I don't, I've just got over the last couple of days, I've just had this feeling that Gamrot's gonna win.
hmm
Should,
I,
think-
I'm kind of leaning Gamrot myself, but I don't have a strong feeling about it. I just know that we've seen Gamrot fight like high level of competition, and he's landed takedowns pretty much against everybody. But I know that Salkild is a pretty good wrestler, so he might be able to use that to keep the fight standing. And then if he does, I think he's probably the better striker of the two, and he could possibly finish Gamrot, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's what I'm struggling with because I think Shal Kill's the better fighter, and I think he
hmm
should win, but. It's just like the odds as well making me think Gamrot as well because I've seen fighters in these type of spots before
Right.
that are like prospects and like the wider favourites than this. Even though
Mhm.
even though this is like what the line should be, like
Right.
usually like you know what type of fights I'm talking about where like there's a prospect and like they're going against someone like a Gamrot and they're like -300 and you're like why is he -300
Yeah.
even
So
but
do
like
you have a bet on it or no?
nah.
No, yeah, me
No,
neither.
I might if the rest of the card goes well, then I'll probably have a small bet on like Gamrot by
Right.
sub.
Yeah, I like the idea of the submission as well. Let me pull up my book because I don't actually know what the odds on that would be.
5-1.
Okay, so that's pretty good. Yeah, let's. I don't know if I want to take a shot on that still, even though, but that is a good number. Just because Selkild is a pretty good grappler,
Yeah,
but it would be interesting. Yeah, it's plus 550 on my book. Game up by
like
submission.
to be honest, like if you were saying like if you had to if you had to put a bet on what you actually think's gonna happen, then I'd say
Yeah.
Shao killed by KO. To be honest.
Right. Yeah. Because Guillermo's been hurt a lot. He's been dropped a lot. He's
Yeah.
never been finished yet, but he often gets hurt, and I think Salkild should be the better striker.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So then the co-main event, which is kind of a weird fight. Diego Ferreira is really getting up there in age. Now he's 40 and a half. I'm kind of surprised to see him back. And then also Billy Quarantino, I thought was done as well. He's a little bit younger, but both of these guys are kind of old, and I didn't really expect to see them again. Uh, it's an interesting fight to me because of Quarantino's volume that he can land in striking, whereas Ferreira doesn't really keep up with that same pace. As you can see with these numbers here, 4.7 to 7.4. It's a big difference. And then the accuracy is very much in favor of Quarantino also. Uh, Diego Ferreira is like, I think possibly one of the better grapplers in the entire UFC, but he doesn't really get takedowns that much.
Yeah, it doesn't
So
even use it, does he?
yeah, yeah. So he doesn't have like as many. I don't know if Sherdog's working. It's really been a pain in the ass lately. Here it goes. So he's got 7 wins by submission over like 19 wins in his career. But as you can see, he's wearing a gi in this picture. Like he's like a multi-degree black belt. He's been black belt
Yeah.
for a long time. I really like him in terms of his grappling and just his toughness in terms of striking. But I worry that he will be just like outpointed by Quarantillo, and because he doesn't land takedowns, I don't know if like his jiu-jitsu will come into play. If Billy Quarantillo like messes around, hey, what's up, Tyler? How's it going? If Billy Quarantillo messes around and then he takes down Ferreira or something like that, I feel like he's gonna get swept, and then Ferreira is live to win by submission. I think he's just so much better at jiu-jitsu. But I mean, I'm not betting this fight either, and it's really hard to kind of make a pick. I want to say Ferreira is just better, and he could possibly knock out Quarantillo because I don't know about his durability lately. If you look at, he was knocked out by Cub Swanson in his last fight. He's finished by Yusuf Salal and then Edson Barbosa. Like he's been finished a lot lately. So I think Ferreira is live to finish him, but this is just another one I'm not very confident in.
I'm actually confident in Billy Q.
Oh, are you? Yeah.
Yeah. It's more the age, and like if you look, I
Right.
don't know if you've seen the face off. Billy Q's coming up in
Yeah.
Billy Q's coming up in weight, and he's fucking bigger than him.
Yeah, he looks huge. That actually
Yeah.
surprised me how much bigger he was.
Like I'm always gonna back a 37-year-old over a 42-year-old or a 41-year-old.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
but both, I
like,
mean, Billy's like what, like 37, 38 also? Like they're both not young. Let's
yeah,
see.
once a fighter gets past that 40 mark, though, that's like
Oh yeah. Tell me
that's
about
when
it,
I
Paulie.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Tyler's going Billy Q for the win too. So you guys are both on him.
Yeah, I've
I
seen
think I am too, but I mean, I'm just not that confident in it though.
a lot of people picking Ferreira as well.
Yeah.
Like
What do we?
in the
What do we
public.
got for? So Billy Q is plus 145 underdog right now. So that's not a bad underdog. Tyler, do you have a bet on this fight, or are you just picking Billy to win? So let Tyler answer that. Shout out to Polly's nurses taking care of him in the background. All right, so we'll go on to the next fight. I'll wait for Tyler to answer if he has a bet on that one or not. This is one that I'm really interested in. You probably know why. Darren Elkins also. Hold on. Okay, so Tyler's going to casino to make his bets. Yeah. So Darren Elkins is 40. He looks terrible. I think his movement looks like he already has brain damage. I apologize, Darren Elkins, if you actually happen to watch this. I don't mean any disrespect, but he just looks like he's getting old. He looks like he's taking a lot of damage. He doesn't move well. He doesn't move quickly. He still has good wrestling, which could be a problem here with Davale. What I wrote about on Substack is what
He's
I
also confirmed he's retiring as well.
Yeah, that, and that's a big narrative, right? Like,
yeah,
people
every
almost
single
never blame
time
the
a fighter
opponent.
says
Yeah.
it, they always lose. Every single time, they always lose.
Yeah. I think he's going to lose anyway, because if you look here, Davale's biggest win is Isaac Delgarian, and that was almost definitely a fixed fight.
Yeah.
And then other than that, he beat Connor Matthews and Antonio Monteiro, both not very impressive wins. And then he was dominated by Jordan Levitt, which is not a great loss. So, I mean, it's hard to really know what to think about Davale. If we look here.
Fight I want absolutely nothing to do with, to be honest.
I have a, Sherdog sucks lately, so it's going to screw me. Hold on. I just want to see how many knockouts he has. So he's only has 2 wins by knockout. He has 4 wins by submission. I mean, it's possible he could club and sub Darren Elkins, but Darren Elkins is actually a decent grappler and a decent wrestler. So I don't know about that. I'm playing Diwali by knockout. It's just plus 105. It's barely plus money.
Yeah.
But I just think that Elkins is. I just think that Elkins is done. That's the first bet that I have on the show is Yadier Diwali by knockout for plus 105. So Paulie, you don't want anything to do with this.
No, no, nothing.
Who are you picking to win? Just as a pick.
Belval.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
I mean I understand it.
it's like as I said, like with the people saying like they're gonna retire and then losing, like
Mhm.
like it could someone could be due to have like a sail off into the sunset.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think
So
Cubs Munson just won his
oh
first,
yeah, yeah, he
but
did
it
to be
doesn't
fair.
happen often, though.
No,
Tyler, do you have anything on this fight that you feel good about? Elkins and Diwali. We can move on to this one, which I also have a bet on. In the meantime,
so I've got Tainara by sub in this fight, but I need to go. I'll come back. I'll come back soon if you still love.
yeah, no problem. Yeah.
But I've got Tainara by sub in this fight.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Paulie.
See you soon, bro.
See ya. So Tyler saying Tanara is his lock. I think that's very popular among the community this week, and I don't think it's a bad one. Yes, I'm with you, Tyler. So Polly just had to go. Polly's in the hospital, so he's kind of busy. I appreciate him being on. So he has Tanera by sub, which I don't think is a bad bet. But then if you remember, like when, let me just change my screen real quick. If you remember when Amanda Lemos fought Wiley Zhang, and then Zhang took her down like 6 times, had control like the entire fight. She couldn't submit her, she couldn't stop her by strikes. I just think, hey, Jessica, what's up, Jessica? All right. She couldn't finish her by strikes. So I just think that Lemos has shown durability against like a high level of UFC fighter, and I find it hard this being a big step up for Tainara, as good as I think Tainara is. I don't think she's going to be the one to finish Lemos all of a sudden. So I'm also with Tyler. I'm going with the decision. So I bet that Alexis Tainara by decision plus 105. That's my second bet so far on this card. So yeah, I've never really liked Amanda Lemos. She can't wrestle and grapple. She can defensively. She can stay safe from being finished, but I don't think she's going to get much done. I do think it's possible this is like a vet lesson type of deal where Tainara is just not ready. But I mean, Lemos is getting older. She hasn't looked good in a while. I favor Tainara here. She's young, athletic, aggressive. So Tainara by decision for everybody here. So I'll go on to the next one. So this one is, I think this one's tough, but I've seen a lot of people pretty confident on this. And if you look at the weigh-ins, Ty Miller is so much bigger than Billy Ray Goff. But I've liked Goff in some of his fights. He's lost 2 in a row and losing to Trey Waters. Even though Trey Waters looked great last night in the PFL, Trey Waters didn't look that good in the UFC. So, I mean, that's not a great loss to me. He absorbed 116 strikes against Trey Waters. So he's good if he gets his wrestling mixed in. As you can see on the Contender Series, that's how he won. But then he was submitted by Ramiz Bramaj. Bramaj is a good grappler, but he's not been successful in the UFC. If we just click in and look real quick, alternates wins and losses. He's beating people like Mickey Gall. Crazy that he beat Austin Vanderford. I mean, that's just crazy to look at. But Vanderford's a wrestler. He got caught in the guillotine. It'll happen sometimes. So this is one where I am going with what the popular pick is in Ty Miller, but I'm not as confident as some people are. I think Goff can push a good pace, and I think he can mix in the wrestling. And if we look at Ty Miller here, He was only taken down once by this Jimmy Drago guy, and then Adam Fugit. How many times? He only attempted 2 takedowns. Fugit's not a great wrestler, but he's not an awful wrestler either. But if you look here, 59 in 1 round. That's a high amount of strikes for 1 round. See, Miller looks good, but I don't want to completely count out Goff. I think Goff's a good fighter too. So I don't have anything in this one. Let me know in the chat if you guys do, and we'll see if Holly gets back on. Okay. Thanks, Tyler. Thanks for hanging out. So we're going to go on to the next one. So this is another really popular fight that people have, Steven Aspinall and Guilherme Pat. I want to go against Aspinall eventually. I mean, he lands a super high volume for heavyweight, which is good. My favorite heavyweight fighters are ones that can wrestle or grapple, or ones that have a pace that other heavyweights can't keep up with. And Aspinall kind of has that in a limited sample size. We've seen him fight 3 times now, and he was kind of beaten up by Vitor Petrino. Absorbed 92 strikes to just 61 that he returned. So not great. But I do think he can beat up the lower level of the heavyweight division, which I believe Pat probably falls into. And if you see, he's only averaging 2.7 strikes per minute over a 2-fight sample size. Then he lost to Thomas Peterson. No takedowns, but has stopped all takedowns. Let's see how many. Peterson attempted 5. It's not bad to stop 5 takedowns against Thomas Peterson. So not terrible. But I don't expect Aspinall to be wrestling him, so that doesn't really matter for this fight. I'm going Aspinall here. I don't have a play currently, but the idea of Aspinall by knockout isn't bad to me. I'm just trying to see. It's plus 140, so getting plus money for that is something that I might add to my card here. But I have had bad luck, I'll say, adding bets that I didn't have throughout the week, adding them on a Friday night or a Saturday morning. I've had bad luck with those. They normally lose, but I think I may add Aspinall by knockout here. So moving into this one is one that I kind of want to spend a little more time talking about. But for the most part, I want to move a little quicker through these. Just looking at the time here. So Dior Nergazé versus Bruno Lopez, very binary fight. If you look at the strikes landed, 4.5 for Nergazé and 2.88 for Lopez. Not a good volume in terms of striking for Lopez. But even though the takedowns look similar and the accuracy is better for Nergazé, I think that if this fight hits the mat, that Lopez is the way better grappler. So you can also see he's got 100% takedown defense and a pretty decent sample size in the UFC. So he has fought some pretty good people. He's lost to Sterling, lost to Jacoby. Decent fighters there. He beat Ribeiro on the Contender Series. And then if you look here, Nergazé lost to Ribeiro. And then he hasn't really fought anybody else that really jumps out at you. And then one thing I really want to focus on here is this Ezekiel choke. Sorry, I was trying to highlight that. There you go. It's odd to me to see someone get Ezekiel choked in 2026 at the UFC level. This is not something that should happen. Like, I'm a 40-year-old jiu-jitsu hobbyist, and I would be mad at myself for getting caught and tapping to an Ezekiel choke. So that is kind of what is, not that choke in particular, but the fact that he got caught in that and watching his reactions to grappling, that's what's pushing me on to my play here, which is Lopez money line, because he's an underdog, first of all. Plus 125 for Lopez. And also I'm playing Lopez by submission for plus 450 because of the grappling advantage. It might be a little anxious at the beginning in terms of backing Lopez, but I think his cardio will hold up as the fight goes longer. And I'm taking him to win this fight and to win by submission. So I'll just touch on this Sutherland and Montana fight. I don't have anything here. Neither one of these guys are people that I really want to get involved with. It's not the kind of heavyweights that I like. Even though you see the 4, almost 5 takedowns per fight for Sutherland, he still just doesn't produce a ton of offense. As you can see, the 1.8 strikes per minute. And then we have no stats for Montana because he's making his debut. Sutherland just landed 5 takedowns. So you can see the last fight, that's where his stats are really being pumped in terms of takedown average. He landed 1 in the other 2 fights combined. And he was taking down Tai Tuivasa, which Tai Tuivasa shouldn't still be fighting in the UFC. And he definitely can't grapple. So I lean in Sutherland here. I do think that Montana is interesting, though. Let me see if Sherdog will cooperate real quick. So they have him named Jose Luis on here. So I guess he goes by his nickname, which is what sometimes Brazilians do. He mostly wins by submission. His last 3 wins in a row are by submission. Last 4 wins in a row are by submission. Which guy do you like, Jessica? You like Sutherland or you like this Montana guy? Jesse, hey. So my brother, everybody, a big fan of Tai Tuivasa. I guess I would consider he is a legend, but I mean, his time has come. He's looked terrible. He doesn't look like an athlete anymore. I don't think it's something we need to watch. Sorry. my brother and his wife in the chat. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We were just at the pool earlier, and I raced my brother twice. I don't know how often you guys swim, but swimming is extremely tiring. And I thought I was going to throw up after the second race because it was so hard. It's a big pool. I'll give myself credit there. I had to swim a very long way, and I haven't swam in a long time. So yeah, swimming's hard though. Anyway, so no bet on this one, but I picked Sutherland for the win. And this one here, I also have no play, but I know a lot of people are interested in the Manuel Souza side by finish. As you can see, he's got two wins in the UFC, and both of them by 3rd round knockout, which is interesting to see. I'd forgotten about the 3rd round part. I knew he was winning by knockout, but winning in the 3rd round it's a good sign in terms of cardio and being able to get it done otherwise. Because if he's winning by knockout in the 3rd round, it's possible he's just winning the fight anyways. He was behind Oki in strikes here, but he knocked him down twice. So interesting to see him get the 2 3rd round knockouts. But we're going to go to Sherdog for Miranda because he is making his debut. This guy is the LFA champion. Wait. So I think it's a little bit interesting that he's coming in. He's got 3 wins by submission and 5 by knockout, 5 by decision, which is good to see. He's only 31. I watched a little bit of tape on him. He's a decent grappler. As you can see here, he bulldog choked this last guy, which isn't a normal submission that you see, especially nowadays in MMA. The famous one of the last decade was when Ben Askren bulldog choked Robbie Lawler, and then there was a controversial did he tap, did he not tap. So besides that, he hasn't won by submission in a while. He's got a guillotine here, a rear naked choke here, but he's not a bad fighter, Richie Miranda. For his debut here, I plan on waiting and seeing, like watching him in this fight against a decent opponent like Manuel Souza, and seeing what happens. I'm picking Souza to win, but not confidently, so no bet there. This one, I'll be honest, I had more to say about this fight when his opponent was Jesse Rosas. But Jesse Rosas pulled out late, like just a few days ago. And then Gianni Vasquez came in. And I've seen some people that I respect say that Vasquez looks good and that he might outpoint Johns to a decision. Johns is somebody who fights down to the level of his opponent often. Doesn't produce a ton of offense, and he's not somebody that I usually like to back. But he's extremely experienced. He's been in the UFC for like 10 fights now. You have Vasquez losing to Basharat, only landing 24 strikes, being taken down 3 times. But let's count what Basharat does to you. Basharat's really good at limiting getting hit, and he's a good wrestler. So it's hard to judge him off of that. I haven't had time to look into Vasquez otherwise, so I'm not really going to speak on this one much, and I don't have any bet. I might bet it to go long or go the distance. Let me just look at it real quick. I was looking at betting the Rosas Johns fight to go over, like over 2.5. So this one over 2.5 is minus 180. Something you could look at as a parlay piece, but because Vasquez is coming in on such late notice now, it's not something I'm really like trying too hard to force. So I'm going to skip Miller here because I have more to say about that one. I have a bet on this fight, and I'm going to just talk about this in terms of like I don't have much to say on this one either, so I'll just skip through it really quick. This is a fight that was added late, not as late as the new opponent for Johns, but it wasn't originally on the card. I bet Chanel Dyer to knock out Carol Faro, and she didn't. Wait, no, I'm thinking of another fight. I'm sorry. So she beat up Chanel Dyer, and she knocked her down 3 times on a Contender Series. Man, I don't know. Maybe I did better to knock her out. I know I was on Dyer for the Contender Series, and I lost that one. But then recently, Dyer. Now I'm gonna have to look at it. I'm curious. Ravena Oliveira, who we're about to talk about in the other fight against Julianne Miller. I bet Dyer to knock her out, and I did. It was a pretty big hit. It was like plus 500 or something like that, because Dyer hadn't shown a lot of finishing ability. Then she looked so questionable in the durability department against Faro. So that was a good hit. It was a good debut for Faro. She hasn't fought then since the Contender Series though, so I know she's a good striker. And then Gigi Canuto, I know she comes from the grappling world. I know she is a very skilled grappler. I would love to watch her fight tape and see how good she is. But I just, with the fight being added late and then the PFL being yesterday, I just didn't have time to get into Canuto. She's probably somebody I'd like. So if I was going to take a bet on this fight, I believe she's the underdog. Yeah, plus 195 underdog, Canuto. I mean, if I wanted to get involved, I'd probably take her just saying blindly. But I don't want to force that. I'm trying to get back ahead for the year, so I'll only make bets that I feel good about. So then, I'll talk about this last. Julianne Miller versus Ravena Oliveira. Miller is 5-4 as a professional, and then Oliveira's only 7-4. So both not great records. This is definitely a lower tier fight in terms of UFC. Both of these women, arguably not UFC level. There you see Miller's striking accuracy at just 39%, and then even worse, Oliveira at 30%. So then takedowns for Miller, 2.16 per fight. If you look in here, She's landed 2, 3, 4. So she lands several takedowns in a lot of her fights. She has really good jiu-jitsu. She trains with Richie Martinez from 10th Planet. He recently retired from competitive grappling. But I liked Miller since she was on The Ultimate Fighter. I think she does have good jiu-jitsu. I don't think Raven Oliveira is good at anything, really. No offense, Ravena, if you look at this. So I think this could play out closely because Oliveira is possibly the better striker, even though these numbers look bad. But Miller's just not a high-level MMA fighter. So if it stays on the feet, they could play out closely. But if the fight hits the mat, I think that Miller is going to look like a minus 300 favorite that she is. I think she could style on her a little bit. Probably submission, but maybe she ground and pounds her. But I think she gets a finish on the mat. So I bet Juliana Miller by finish plus 110. I think it was the first bet I made on the card. This is the last one I'm going to talk about today. So I've got Miller by finish plus 110, possibly adding Stephen Asplin by knockout plus 140. Alexia Tainera, let's just open the card again. Alexia Tainera by decision plus 105. Excuse me. And then Gadier Devalde by knockout plus 105. And I feel like Bruno Lopez money line plus 125 and Bruno Lopez by submission plus 450. And I'm pretty sure that is my card. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to everybody who hung out in the chat today. Tyler, Jesse, Jessica, some more people who are popping in but not talking. And then thank you to Polly for hanging out with me for a bit. And then I'll see you guys for the next one.